Here we are again, Bob. Seems like the same story every time. You told me. You tried to tell some people on Wednesday in the podcast. He said it would be. You said it would. You didn't even say it was going to be this bad, but
right.
I never learn about this program.
Never learn. That's what I was going to say at the end. Dave Jones. He lived to be 120 years old. Never learned. That's what it's going to say on your tombstone.
This Rutgers program actually. They do fight you in the first quarter, and then they just don't have enough players. They don't have enough depth of good players along the line, and they got swamped on offense the whole time. And Penn State's defense is really starting to play pretty good.
Talent deficient. Just they had Penn State off balance for about one quarter. I mean, there were some odd plays. It just took Penn State a little while to go. Parker Washington didn't play. I don't know that he's going to play. James said he wasn't sure. I think we've seen the end of Parker Washington, but that's a story for another day. And their passing game suffered. The run game it took a while to get going. But man, the defense and Nick Singleton's kickoff return, you just can't say enough about Manny Diaz and his defense. They don't have Joey Porter. They got Curtis Jacobs.
But back with Carter.
There's like. You could count up about 12 players that made big plays at some point in this game, and you just don't see that at this level. The depth is just really impressive.
And they have 16 guys who've made sacks, which really, if you don't think about it, you think, okay, it's a number, but that means a whole bunch of guys have played on defense and made meaningful plays, and that's really what's powering a team like Penn State, who really can play this time of year when the games, let's be honest, don't matter that much, and teams like Rutgers who just run out of guys. And Penn State's not running out of guys, and they're not running out of guys who really want to prove themselves and come out here and show what they can do.
Yeah, and to your point, like they get the shutout last week, and they could have been full of themselves today, but they played hard the whole way. They made some mistakes, but they just wear you down. The aggressive approach that led to Jair Brown's fumble return early in the third quarter that really sealed it. Right, it was close to being over, but Curtis Jacobs gets the sack. He gets the return, but Kalen King runs down a receiver that's like 15 yards ahead of him to even set the stage, for that play. A guy, they got guys. Marquise Wilson gets a strip, and Kobe King runs it in for a touchdown. It's just different guys. Abdul Carter, it's just really impressive.
Still, again, the play of the game that I remember is Carter coming like a guided missile.
Yeah,
he is like waffling along the line, and then when he decides to go, shoom, it's like rocket thrusters, and he's wrenching Wimsatt down. The ball flies free, and another scoop and score.
Yeah, 9-2, looking real good for 10-2 next week at home against Michigan State, and I thought they were going to be 7-5. They proved me wrong. They really played Ohio State tough. They could easily have been legitimately 11-1, and that's pretty remarkable considering some of the injuries and some of the things. The way the freshmen and the second-year players to me have been just a huge story. Like Drew Shelton steps in, no Fashanu. It's just really impressive.
And that's what powers your team in November when a lot of guys get hurt. That's where the recruiting depth is coming in. So. I feel ashamed that I've been for all these years saying that Rutgers and Maryland were going to be legitimate. You watch, they're going to be.
I'm ashamed for you, Dave. I'm ashamed for you.
Going to be legitimate rivals, and it still isn't happening.
But you know what? Next week is the Land Grant Trophy, so that's going to put a smile on your face. I know that.
LGT. That's it from SHI Solutions. They dropped the solutions. There's no solution at Rutgers. SHI Stadium. Adios.